I swear to God, like one time I rode an NMAX and I dropped it. Like, this, like, how are you riding a bike this big? It's really cruisy.
Yeah, it's like super smooth. Welcome to the channel. This is Petrol Peace, an intersection of motorcycles, fashion, travel, food, and art. And this is an episode of Bike Seat Confessions. I'm your highway host, Stray Dog number 4, and I'm here with a very special friend. Introduce yourself and where you're from.
Yo, I'm Perry Pierce. You might know me as Shreddy Mercury.
Ready?
I'm originally from New York City, born in the Bronx, BX all day. And I've been living in Bali for 8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
I'm so curious, so one, how did you discover it and what kept you here for so long?
A friend wanted to go. I didn't really want to come here. I wasn't that interested in Asia. I grew up with Spanish-speaking folks, so I always wanted to go to Spanish-speaking countries. I felt like that would be an easier move for me. And I got here, and Bali, decimated me. That's the only way I could put it.
Decimated you?
Yep.
Broke you up in pieces?
A million pieces. I figured out that I was living with depression for a really long time, and Bali brought that all to the surface. And then helped me deal with it. And then helped me integrate it. And that was, a year-long journey that I expected to only be here for a month. So after that, I was like, oh, this is what it feels like to be loved back by a place, Not to just have a good time, but to have an important time, a necessary time, a healing time, a growing time. And yeah, after that, I decided to give her what she gives to me, and yeah, I've been doing that ever since.
And what keeps you here?
What keeps me here?
So long?
Indonesian culture and people. I love it. I love a collectivist culture. I love a casual culture. I love a culture where humor is king. You get in trouble, you crack some jokes, we're all laughing, and we can figure it out without violence or anger or punishments, there's other ways. And also the food. I love the food.
Indonesian food is so good. I stay at the warung.
Oh my God.
Favorite warung? What's
my God.
Favorite places to eat here?
Oh, Warung Kelapa, baby.
Warung Kelapa?
Warung Kelapa, Jalan Pantai Kedungu. Doesn't get any better than that.
Where is that?
That's 20 minutes north of Pereiranan. They cook with no MSG and no sugar. Only all natural traditional coconut oil.
Okay.
And the owner's the man.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. And so what's your advice for people who are coming to this place for the first time?
I guess the simplest way to say it is don't believe the hype, be the fucking hype.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's all this internet drama. Bali's over, the beaches are covered in plastic, Thailand is better. Stop trying to compare apples and oranges. Stop trying to put something down because it's not for you or it didn't fit you and you wanted it to.
Yeah. Exactly.
If you came here and took, you took a villa, you took water from the ground table to fill that swimming pool, you took food, you took money, you took time. What did you give? If you gave nothing, then of course you got nothing. No, you got an experience, you got a tan maybe, but that's just no way to live a life. And so yeah, my advice to people in Bali is be the hype. Go talk to Balinese people. If you don't like Bali, leave Canggu. I promise you the rest of Bali has nothing to do with Canggu.
Exactly.
And it's beautiful, not just the way it looks, but the way it sounds, the way it feels, the way a little baby butterfly will land on your nose and remind you that life is a celebration.
Absolutely.
Not a series of stepping stones. Yeah.
No, that's hard. So you've been traveling for a long time, I take it?
Yeah, actually, this whole settling in Bali business was confusing for me. I hadn't settled physically in a long time. When I was 19 years old, I went to Cape Town, South Africa, and I wound up living there on and off for 6 years while also traveling the southern half of the continent and traveling lots of other places. That's what brought me here initially. And then a couple years before COVID, I was trying to root my business someplace, root myself someplace, Saturn return, coming up on 30 years old. I was it's time to stop being a wanderer. I wanted a best friend that could come to my house and watch a movie more than once a year. I wanted those people my community to like build up around me. I wanted a real home.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And then, like, what is your, like, who would you say, like, what is who makes up your community? Like, what's your, like, livelihood in that regard? Like, what are you adjacent to when it comes to, like...
I love that question. I really do, because I think about it a lot. My people are very, like, disparate, right? Oh, what's up, little guy? It's okay. You good, Bobo?
He's cute.
He's real cute.
He's real mad cute.
But my first community is my mother and her community. My mother is like 75 years old, and her best friend is an Egyptian Muslim. So my family was just me and her originally, and then once Hoda came into our lives, now I got 40 Muslim Egyptian people who invite me over for Eid and feed me and take care of my mother when I'm not there, and that to me is true community, you know? Whether or not you're there, I guess I'm talking about family.
Yeah.
But whether or not you're there, they care about you and believe in you and want to see you succeed. And then my second community is the skate community, particularly roller skating, globally, but especially on Bali.
For sure.
We have made something so special, so special. We get roller skaters from all over the world who come here to visit and say how much they wish their community back home was like ours, because we care about each other, we believe in each other, we support each other. We got sponsored roller skaters in our community now, which is like, that didn't exist for roller skating in Indonesia prior to this like big push that's been happening for skating globally. So everybody that straps on 8 wheels is my community. And then lastly, I've really got to say, just like weirdo witches, like queer folks, people that like pray to the moon and nature, this is my community. And I'm so lucky because I've found friends and family that touch all aspects of those things.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I don't have these 3 separate groups and none of them knows the real me. They all know the real me. A lot of them overlap, and I feel really blessed to have the safety to be the real me with really different groups of people.
Nah, that's real. That's valid. Absolutely. This is so potent. And thank you again for taking the time to hop on the bike and to like share your personal experiences with me. I want to talk a little bit before we go about how you grew up, because you said you grew up as you were a Christian or a Catholic?
I grew up with an Italian Catholic mother and an Irish Catholic father, which is like Catholic plus, like super Catholic.
Yeah.
Church every Sunday. I went to all Catholic schooling until university, to the point where like even on my cheerleading team in grammar school, we would go to church before we went to competitions.
Yeah.
And look, I like Christians, I like Catholics, that's my family, I'm not mad at it.
So what's like your spirituality now? Like what's your practice or devotion that you have in the present time? After, growing up in a Christian environment like I did. I grew up 7-day Adventist Christian.
Yep.
Do you know anything about that?
I do.
And that's like kind of parallel to 7-day, to Jehovah's Witness.
Yep.
But not as, we're gonna take a little look at the beautiful ocean and put that in there. I
haven't seen the sea today. This is good.
Mad breathtaking.